anything. But
I ain't doing another one. My agent be talking about this stuff with me, and I can't keep doing that stuff.
Did you just say her agent?
All right.
Yeah, I can't keep doing
I
this
do.
stuff for free.
God.
I got a whole
Want to have your
agent.
life.
Yeah, I
I
got a whole agent
cannot.
and everything.
I can't.
I just can't.
All right. Are we ready to do this thing called a podcast show? Are we ready? Here we go. Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey.
It's the
Hey.
Hey Girl Hey
Did Jerry say
podcast.
hey?
Hey, question mark? It's the Hey Girl Hey podcast, Urban Media Today. I'm your radio chick, Kiki Brown.
And I'm the chatter chick, LaShawn.
And I'm your millennial chick, Jerry Tipton.
Okay, with the twist out. Yeah.
Oh, yes,
Twist
me.
out. Twist out. So we took a break. We took a
did.
break. We just took some time off and we were able to collect on some hot topics. We also got some brand new fan mail, and we're going to get a little serious during the last end of the show and talk about things that we're kind of tired of hearing about. So we'll get into that in a second. But first things first, let's hit the hot topics. What is polyamorous?
I thought it was polyamorous. Is that how you say it?
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah, let's roll with that.
I thought it was polyamorous.
Let's roll with that. Let's go with that.
Yeah.
Whatever what Jerry said.
Yes.
So I only asked the question because during a recent episode, Facebook Watches Red Table Talk with whatchamacallit and them, Jada and Meemaw. Wait,
yeah.
it's not Meemaw, it's Gammy. Yeah, I said Meemaw. Willow said that she was interested in poly because she was introduced to it through kind of a non-sexual lens. She uses way too many words. How old is she? Like 16, 20? Yeah. Anyway. So basically, what's it called again, Jerry?
Polyamorous.
Polyamorous is defined as a person engaging in multiple romantic relationships with others with the consent of all parties involved. Isn't that just dating?
It's a little deeper. You're like in a relationship with
me, sis.
everyone.
Me, I got nothing.
And everyone's cool with it. You ain't doing it like
everyone's cool with it, right?
Yeah.
So for example, when I was heavy on a dating sites, a lot of the times there will be couples on there and they'll say they're looking for a third or they're poly, and meaning they want to add someone into a relationship. And I think it's more than just sexual, you know what I mean? They just want an additional partner, so that's kind of what it
so like
means,
a threesome.
You found a friend.
It's kind of like a threesome,
just open dating,
but I think what open relationships is, you're doing it separately. You know what I mean? With poly, you're doing it together. So you'll find a male or a female together to be in y'all relationship. So
you're doing everything together.
Literally. And I've seen that. I see a lot of it more. Yeah, kind of like
sister like that.
Exactly. Kind of like sister wives. Yeah, poly. That's illegal in the United States. Like you can't like having more than one wife or a spouse. You can't do it. But relationship wise,
they got a
in Utah they can.
Yeah, that's why they got the show.
Yeah, that's where they had those.
That is right. You're right. In Pennsylvania, it's
all right there,
Willow. Okay. She said, let's say you haven't always been the person wanting sex all the time. But your partner is. Are you going to be the person to say just because? Just because I don't have these needs, you can't have them either. In my group, I'm the only polyamorous. All right. I'm the only polyamorous person, and I have the least sex out of all my friends.
Yeah.
So why be in it? Why be in a polyamorous relationship if part of the job is to
sexual
sex, and you're the person that least likes it? This child is really trying to find herself.
Yeah,
she really is.
think a
This
lot
poor
of people
child.
are. I mean, because these words and all this stuff just to call
Words.
like
These words, child, they
too
stressing me
many.
out.
They stress me out.
Words.
It's too many.
It's too many
You ain't
letters. All these
polyamorous. You
letters.
just dating a whole bunch of people.
How about you just
And
bored?
you
You're
just don't want to
bored.
commit. You don't want to commit.
Would you do
So
it, Jerry?
Absolutely not. And I'm super old fashioned and old school. Like, I just want one partner, just want to marry one partner. I speaking of, while we're on the subject, Trina, she's on that radio show or whatever, and she had got like some fan mail, and this was a clip on her Instagram, and she was saying how a woman and her husband, they go out there in an open relationship, polyamorous relationship or marriage, and they look for the girl. They always had a girl in their relationship. Well, this time she said she wanted a guy, and the husband was just like so mad. He's like, I don't want to do it, and this and that. And it's kind of like a double standard, you know what I mean? But this is why you don't have those type of relationships, because someone's always not going to agree with something on one side, plus I don't know, like I'm just,
That's kind
like
of
I said,
selfish.
it is
That's
very
yeah.
kind of
selfish.
selfish.
Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
selfish.
It's very selfish. So she's like, I wanted a guy instead of a girl this time. He was like, oh, like I'm not with that, but why does it always have to be a woman? So I just feel like there's a lot of confliction when it comes to
Yeah.
that. Someone's not going to be happy. I don't care. And I get jealous personally. Like I don't want to share nobody with whoever I'm with, it just, I don't know, it just doesn't feel. And then I would say it as an insult. Like if I'm not enough for you, you know what I'm saying? Like you got to add somebody else in the mix. Like I don't. I just never cared for it
It's
too much. I
just
never cared for threesomes. I never cared for none of that. Like open
mm-mm.
relationships. Nah.
There's
I'm
just
cool off that.
relationships that don't that doesn't work, and people will like use the Bible and say stuff like it's in the Bible, but even whenever you
Yes.
see stuff like
Yes.
that in the Bible, when they have a whole bunch of wives, there's always like one wife that they love the most,
Oh,
who
exactly.
they can't
Exactly.
have everything with her, and they get these other women, and then they're still not fulfilled, and then the wife is sad and they're sad, and it's biblically, you see it in different relationships in the Bible, like she's not happy, he's not happy, she even names her kids after unhappiness that she had, the other the
You
other
better
chick
preach that
chick,
word.
I mean, those names, like if you look up what is the name, I want to what is it, Reuben or something, like and that has a name to it, like I wasn't happy, it's just real. I think that's what Rachel and Leah, but anyway, but yeah, all of those names, and those women were never happy, and he was never happy, and and he trying to so it doesn't work,
I don't know any successful
it wouldn't work.
polyamorous relationships, even open relationships. You're gonna come to a head. But here's the thing: for her to be so young and to want this, and to be so easily influenced by this, what examples outside of her friend circle is she paying close attention to? Like her parents?
I was just about to say that, because they say that Will and Jada was in an open,
But I
marriage,
don't
and
did Jada say that? Did I didn't watch the clip,
But
so
do
and
they
I guess I
have
should have.
to?
But no, did Jada object to the because she wants Willow to be such a free spirit, and she's even agreed, like I would definitely be into a woman. I would, she talked about that. But Gammy was like, hell to the no, no, no.
yeah, a little bit more,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know what she said.
No.
I missed the clip too, so I'm not too
Okay.
sure.
Gotta watch that.
Uh-uh.
But I
I
mean,
mean,
Willow, I just think Willow needs to color. Maybe she needs to make another album. We need to
ugh.
give Willow something to do. Willow has nothing
A
to
song just
do.
now. Did you see her song? It's like a
She's
kind of a punk
clearly not
rock
happy about it
song.
because
Yeah,
She got a
she did
she
song.
something. Yeah, it's like punk rockish, like
Oh,
see what I'm
that
saying?
genre. That
ah.
genre.
See what I'm saying? See
See,
what I
I think
mean?
Willow's trying to choose
That
between
girl needs a hug.
Will or to be on the low. Willow.
Mm.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like,
Gammy ain't
Will's in
having
the
it.
law. She's like, I don't
Gammy
wanna.
is so old school. Gammy's like, nah,
yeah,
nah,
yeah.
nah.
Yeah, she give the stank face auntie look. She'd be like,
I wonder what she's gonna say when she hears this story. I'm sure she heard about Mendeecees and Yandy of Love and Hip Hop New York, and now they're on what's it?
couples retreat.
Couples retreat, whatever. But he he did years
He
in
did
prison,
some time.
federal
Yeah,
prison.
he
He did
did.
fed time, and Yandy held him down. Like she did what some women do.
Yeah.
She held him down. But there was a time on the show, AJ asked
Oh.
Mendeecees if, and I don't watch the show, but shouts to Jasmine Brand, if he would hold her down, and he was just like,
Mm-hmm.
well,
You don't know.
well.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
Yandy was upset about it. And I always say, I'm not ride or die.
yeah.
I'm
I've
kind
been there
of,
before.
but
It
I
don't.
ain't.
It ain't worth it.
I
And
think
even
it's selfish. I
it's
think
very
it's selfish to ask someone to I don't know.
it's
I
like
don't know.
I
That should
don't
be
know
their
either.
decision. That should be their
It's
decision.
Yeah.
it's like, okay, I'm gonna play both sides of of the fence. I see where Yandy's coming from because that's his wife, and even though what I'm saying, take the vows and stuff like that, and that's kind of what is expected from a spouse. Now, in the same breath, it is kind of selfish because asking someone to hold you down while they're in a situation like that takes a lot on your mental. And I've been there before. It was just a boyfriend, and then came and they depend on you so much. It's
Oh my
crazy. I mean,
God.
the
Yeah.
It's
phone
like you're
calls, the
serving time. And
visits.
I know Yandy
It's
mentioned that too. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's like you're
Mm-hmm.
serving time with them. Like I said,
Mm-hmm.
the phone calls, the visits, the money on the books, the
Oh,
practice. I
don't
mean, it's
miss
just
a
it's
call.
you can't miss a call. They are
Don't miss a
flipping
call.
out on
Yeah.
you. So
Yeah. My brother
it's a
goes through that.
lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a lot mentally and emotionally, even financially. Like it was expensive. You know what I mean? Holding down someone in jail. I just think like it looked funny on his end because that's his wife and she did it for him. And that's kind of where I was like, you know what I mean? Everyone was like, Pat Poose would never do that. You see what he did with Remy, and which is true. You know what I'm saying? But
We only know the other part of
all
we
the
don't know
other
what he
part.
did. Yeah, I think when people go to jail, it depends on how long that stint is for them. So because you do like 5, 10 years and you're gone. I mean, that's every day away from somebody. While he's in jail, he's on
New
cell
life in
block
10,
A.
5 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's cell block A. You're on cell block B. Waiting on him. I think it's very
Uh,
selfish. I just
I didn't
really
get what
do.
you were. I was like, what?
Yeah, well,
I was
you're
like,
you're in,
cell
you're
block.
in jail too. While you're there,
Yeah.
you're in jail. You're not
I
doing
mean, the
anything
family
else,
is everybody is. I
right?
mean, you have to put money on his books. You got to make sure you pay
Right.
for. And I didn't know that while they're incarcerated, they have to pay restitution.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
They have to pay restitution. So, I mean, if you don't pay that restitution, that's a violation. And I was like, how you have a bill while you're in jail?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
and
you should be giving
that
me
falls
money
on
for
the
that.
family.
Mm.
Right. It falls on the family. And he said, I guess he was upset with her because she had missed emails, and said it started to feel like I was put on a shelf. Trust me, treat me the same. Don't mishandle me like that. Not when I give her the opportunity to leave me if she ever gets tired or it becomes too much. And then Yandy said, he's brought up that time before where he feels that she wasn't there enough, and she's like, I'm juggling businesses, a career, kids,
Kids,
like
yeah.
I'm
And you're
hold
talking
things
about
down. And I just think, in response to that, I just think that's kind of selfish.
very selfish.
It is
She's
very
doing all
selfish.
that in the real world, and he's in jail. You're talking about emails. You're talking about calls.
Hmm. But that's
Like
all they have. That's all they
yeah.
Yeah.
have when they're in
But for you
jail.
to say, she should have been there to get that. Babies, if she's taking care of a baby, babies don't sleep whenever you have a call.
Kids,
That
kids
kids,
from
kids don't
another
be like,
woman
right.
too.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
So,
His kids from the other relationship.
another
Right. Yeah.
relationship. Yep.
I'm dropping
Uh-huh.
those kids off to soccer. Those aren't technically my kids. I'm doing all this stuff, and
Hmm.
you talk about I missed a call. or
Yep.
Mr.
All
Email.
or oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I've
you're in
been through
jail,
that.
not
It's
me.
just
Mm-hmm.
That's very
it's not
selfish.
cool. Mm-mm.
And then you get out and you want to talk stuff like, why didn't you leave? Why didn't you leave? That is the last question you should ask if I'm here and I haven't left.
Oh, but if I would have
Don't
left,
ask
then
that.
I'm not. Then you didn't love me.
You didn't love
You
me, or you
didn't
ain't
love
hold
me.
me
You didn't love me.
down.
And if you ain't hold me down, because you know what, they're gonna find somebody else. Because there are
Absolutely.
females out there that like a man who is locked up. They
Oh
love a
yeah.
pen
They
pal,
want to build a
and
man like
they want to
that.
build a man. They want to make sure that he's, I'm gonna hold you. I'm gonna put some money on your books, boo. So even though there's a main chick, there's always that one
Oh
person
yeah.
that's
I
waiting for
just
her number to be called, and
I
I think
kind
that
of
Yep.
that's just crazy.
I think it's kind of like insecure chicks that do the pen pal dating of men in jail because you know where they're at. You don't have to worry about it. You
But that
don't.
don't
You
mean
don't.
nothing.
You don't. Well, you don't. You don't necessarily know who he's with. That's a
I mean,
different
it doesn't really matter. They're all men.
story. Yeah, but you know where he's at. You don't have to wonder why. Like, why didn't he call me? He was supposed to call me when he get home. All that silly stuff. You date him and he's in jail. You be like, yeah, he's number 4576. Yep, it's bedtime. Oh, what time is it? 9 o'clock. Oh, his lights are out. Oh, you know all that stuff. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
that's if you want it. That's to me, that's somebody that's kind of insecure. So they like that about the guy. Like they
Right.
know.
Well, I think that also,
I'm not
because
judging
I've witnessed it. I think some of it, the conversation that you get from someone, and I guess this is outside of Mendeecees and Yandy because they're married, but it's sincere. It
that.
is. I think that it honestly is sincere. While they're there, I think that what they're saying is sincere. I think that what they're saying, they really do mean it. And there is somebody else that could possibly be somebody else that's entertaining them as well. But what they're saying, I don't think what all of they're saying is gain.
No,
So, because when you get out, you're just so excited to be with that person that you built this relationship with. But you don't realize that when you get out, your eyes are like, ooh,
Mhm.
I don't
oh.
think it's game. I don't think it's game, when they're talking when they're in jail because it's their reality. So if you're sitting there
Yeah.
all day and you really don't have anything else to do, you better have imagination. So,
Mm.
when you're talking to somebody, your imagination better be good. You better be like, well, when I get out of here, because you don't see many trees. We're gonna be at the picnic, we're gonna have picnics in the park. Like come on, you don't see that when you're in jail, you just see a yard. So your eyes got to see beyond that. So they talk all this stuff, and it is their reality. They're not.
Mm-hmm.
They're not. It's not any game. But when they get outside, and you come from out the jail, and if you come from the one downtown, you just see a couple bus stops. There ain't no trees. All that stuff you was talking.
I can't. I
And if
can't.
you
She
ain't
just
got a
said bus
bus
stop.
pass, you ain't getting anywhere.
So we got
I'm
a
just
little
saying.
over we got
I
a
ain't
little over
judging
five
though. I ain't
minutes. She
judging.
got she got folk at the bus stop. We got a little over 5 minutes for this last one. Chicklet man, Steve Harvey, Chicklet mouth.
Chiclet. Ain't nothing
Oh,
chiclet.
Chicklets.
chiclet man.
Hot
What are
dog
you
bun
talking about?
lips.
So he
I love
he
him.
uh he had a video that went viral, and he explained to a female interviewer that his logic as to why he has no female friends is because he's incapable of it. He says, all of my friends are men. I don't have female friends. I don't. I'm incapable of that. I don't
Wow.
really have female friends. Let's get rid of this myth right here. He says, you're an attractive woman. There are some guys somewhere saying we're friends. No, that's not true. He's your friend only because you have made it absolutely clear
You
that
get your
nothing
lipstick
else is
flapping. Go on.
happening except this friendship we have.
Yeah,
We
well,
remain your friends in hopes that one day there'll be a crack in the dough, a cheek in the armor, and
Mm-hmm.
trust and believe that guy you think that's just your buddy, he will
Mm-hmm.
slide in that crack the moment he gets the opportunity because we're guys. He said 99.9% of men think that way. I'm gonna sip on my juice box.
sip on your juice box. I
Mm.
I believe him to a certain extent. I believe
Yeah.
him that
But
he is
can we say
incapable of
anything
it.
because we're women?
Well, yeah, we
Yeah.
can't speak for men, but not all men are the same and not all women are the same. I mean, I agree with some of the things that
It's
he's saying.
definitely not. I don't think that's how women feel. Women
Hmm.
truly want you to be a friend. Not we're not.
And that's me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm cool with strictly platonic uh friendships with males. It's always the male, come forthcoming with me. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? Like,
mm,
that wants to be a little bit more than friends or friends with benefits. You know what I
mm.
mean? I probably have like two strictly platonic friendships with males, and I hate to say this, I think because they're gay. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh,
Why do you hate to
well,
say
ain't nothing
it?
I
happening
hate to
there,
say
boo.
that. Ain't nothing happening. Exactly. I
Oh,
want to
oh,
come
oh,
off as like,
oh.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
I was
that's
like,
wow.
okay.
But like, heterosexual male that I'm strictly friends with, either we've had relations in the past or we thought about doing it,
Mm-hmm.
and it didn't work out, whatever. But anyway, there was some type of romantic involvement. So I do see where he's coming from. You know what I mean? Like, there hasn't, except like middle school age, like you just like, oh, that's just my friend. But like, now in adulthood, no, I have not really experienced that. Mm-mm. So
Yeah,
I see where he's coming from.
I get it. I got some male friends, but I think if I were to drop the ball, they'd be right there.
What does
Not
that mean?
all.
Drop the ball.
Drop the draws, drop the ball. No, I'm only kidding. No, no, no. Mhm. And that's true. That's
That is
probably
true.
true. Yeah. So yeah, he's right on some things,
I was
but
not expecting that answer at all.
The draw
I just
drop.
said drop the ball.
I was
Yeah, I was trying to
like,
keep it PG. But yeah, I mean, I think they are. He's true on some of that. I just never tested the water, and I have male friends, quite a few, but we never. There's never been an issue.
dude, I don't think of them. I don't think of them like that. And I'm
Yeah,
even like I speak to if I see an ex, I'm like, hey, what's up? It's
yeah, because you don't think of them, but
no, I
if you
don't.
right,
I
and it's
don't.
kind of something if we don't think about it,
Yeah.
like it doesn't happen, like it doesn't exist. But if we were to open it up to them, it could happen.
So we are in the chamber.
We're in
We're one
control.
in the
Yep.
chamber.
Mhm.
We're the ones that they keep in the chamber just in case.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hmm.
I went
It
to
would have been
dinner.
great to have a guy kind of
Definitely,
chime in on that one.
definitely.
Just
I went
want
to
to,
dinner the other night with a friend of mine, and we were talking, and so me and him have been friends for years, and
Mm-hmm.
so and I said to him while we were in the car driving back, I said, you know what, I've been praying about your wife, and he was like, huh?
I was gonna
Like,
ask you out.
right. And he said, after all these years, you've been praying about my wife. I said, I ain't been praying all these years about your wife. I said, but I know what you desire. You desire a wife. And so I've been really, praying for you to have a wife. And so he said, oh, okay, okay, well, go ahead, speak
You
it.
done creeped him out,
Yeah, like,
and he was
I,
ready to run down the street
right,
because he
you
wasn't
know,
ready.
yeah, well, and I don't know if he was thinking, the chance could be him and I, but I just put it
That's
out there.
probably where he went with it.
No, I'm praying for you a wife. It's not going to be me.
Well, I don't. I heard
I
that.
will her.
I What'd you say, Jer?
No, I was looking what what Sean said.
I hear that it's not the woman who seeks; it's a man that findeth a wife, findeth a
He
good thing.
findeth a good thing and findeth favor
Mhm.
And
among
so
God.
it's not a woman who goes out and seeks her husband. Although I have made a statement when I saw said man, this said man was going to be my husband. That was just me. I don't know what God's plan is. So, but I don't believe that a woman should pursue her husband. I think whomever is
I
purpose
agree.
for her, then that's who it is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how the heck we got on this. Oh, okay, Steve
Well,
Harvey. I
I don't think
think he lost Marjorie before from cheating.
he,
Oh,
And when she threatened to leave him, he was like, I can't do this no more. I
hmm
will never, ever, ever lose this woman again.
yeah, it's not that he's
Again.
incapable, it's because Marjorie doesn't allow you to.
He's like, what? What? What?
He's a hard W. What? Like what?
What type of
Like he
man?
blows like that first.
What? So we're
Yeah.
I was we're gonna need the code cracker for this fan mail. So LaShawn is gonna fill in for what
Oh.
Steve Harvey might say as the code cracker, because this one says I lied. So we got a confession. That's how you started off. But we're gonna read fan mail. It's the Hey Girl Hey podcast live on the YouTube.
On the tube.
Urban Media Today. All right, girls. Hey Girl Hey podcasts.
Hey.
Checking in with fan mail. Title of the fan mail is I lied. Here it is.
Wow.
You ready? Look, you about to break the crack the code, and I ain't even read the thing yet. Oh Lord. Wait a minute. We gotta put on our fairy hats.
All right, that's fair.
Okay. Jerry like, yeah, he guilty. I told my girlfriend that I didn't have any kids, but I lied. So my kids' mother wouldn't let me see my kids. She lives in Florida. I would go there to see them, and she'd play games saying that I could see them. And then when I get there, she ghosts on me. It was getting so bad, I stopped even trying. I paid child support, which I think is BS, but I'm not trying to go to jail. It's been a year since I've seen my kids. I've moved on with my life and started dating this beautiful young woman, and it's been cool. She asked me if I had any kids, and immediately I said no. Knowing I shouldn't have said that, I didn't take it back because that would have just made me look crazy. I didn't tell her because I like her and didn't want to start whatever this is with drama. Fast forward to 2 weeks ago, my kid's mother reached out to me saying she's coming to see me and she's bringing the kids. She's getting married and feels the kids need to know their dad. I'm happy about that. Could care less she's getting married, but now what do I do? If I tell her, I guess meaning the girlfriend, I know I'm going to lose her. I honestly didn't mean to lie. I just didn't know what was going to happen. I get it. I don't agree, but I get it.
You do?
I get it.
You get hiding kids?
You messed up from when you lied.
I'm not saying that he was right. I'm saying I understand why.
Yeah.
I understand why. Yeah, I'm not saying I agree, but I understand there's a difference. I'm not saying I agree, but I understand why. Like, he really, really digs this chick. And he's just like, if I tell her, she must be a little uppity. I don't know. But if I tell her that I have kids and I tell her all this stuff, my baby mama drama, I'm going to leave her. I mean, she's going to leave me.
Right.
It's happened. Women have walked away from men and men have walked away from women.
And
so he was just like, now she gonna see these kids. Maybe. How do I tell it? I would sit down and just be like, hey, boo.
Yeah.
Do that Kobe Bryant. When he is at the press conference,
his mouth was dry in the mug, man. He's like, you dry. That's what lying get you. That lying get you that dry mouth. Suck on a Tic Tac and say it.
Silly. You're so silly. I mean, I think you should take a stab at it, and you never know. But I get why he did it. I'm not saying I agree, but I understand. Jerry, what you got?
See, in my situation, guys always tell me, well, I've always dated guys with kids, and they will always come out and say, oh, I got a kid, I got 2 kids, whatever. My thing with me was, it was them if they were still dealing with the baby mama. That's what, of course, they would lie about. So, this is a little different. Although there was a time where now I'm thinking about it. One guy was trying to talk to me or whatever, and he didn't tell me he was having a baby on the way.
Been there.
Yeah. And then another guy had told me he had 2 kids. But this is why, I'm a private investigator and I go on your Facebook and I find stuff. So as I'm scrolling on his Facebook, I had seen, this was like probably from 2 years ago or something. I had seen a woman just tagging him in these baby pictures, baby boys pictures. Now, mind you, he told me he only had 2 daughters. So I'm just like, like, who is this? You know what I mean? And I just came out and asked
Maybe it's his sister.
I'm like, no,
she's just a
sister
happy
was white.
auntie.
And I'm like, so you just got 2 daughters, right? You ain't got any more kids. And then that's when he had said something. But it's like, if I wouldn't have said anything, he wouldn't have told me. You know what I mean? So I don't like that. I mean, he lied. Well, he lied. But if you really like the person, you got to be honest and upfront from the jump. I would just tell her like, hey, look, like, have a sit down. This is a in-person conversation. This is not can be done through text or over the phone. Like, we need to see each other. And just say, I lied, and I'm sorry, and I do have kids. I didn't say anything because of the drama, blah 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 blah. And she may give him a chance, but then again, she may not. We don't know. You know what I mean? But he just got to come out and say it, especially if the kids is going to be in his life actively. You know what I mean? So just be honest.
You got Code Cracker point 2.0.
Well, let me tell you something.
Let me holler at you.
Let me holler at you.
Let me holler at you.
First of all, let me say a quick prayer for you, because this is foolishness. This is foolishness. So
she said, let me say a quick prayer.
Say a quick prayer.
Say a little prayer for you.
Okay, so he ends the part of this letter and said, this is crazy. Something he put, this is great. Let me tell you what's crazy about this whole thing. About
what part?
Didn't he say crazy? Something about something what's crazy or something? He mentioned the word crazy.
Let me look for crazy. Go ahead. I'm gonna look for crazy.
Because I'm gonna tell you what's crazy is to hide a whole family, to hide your kids. That's crazy. To me. So
look, he said hide your wife, hide your kids.
Yeah. So if you can
fire,
hide
yes.
your kids, if you can hide your
exactly.
What about you dating me? You killed me in the woods. You gonna hide that you dated me? Because you just be hiding.
That escalated quickly. How did that get to now? You murdered in the forest? What?
Well, because he's a person that hides things, and you hide people.
You got them hiding bodies.
It's not like you're hiding your credit score. You're hiding actual people in a relationship.
Right.
It's people. It's not a credit score. It's not that he's saying, I'm not in the 600s. I'm hiding kids. That's big. And then he puts in a letter, like, I haven't seen my kids in a year. The issue is not, okay, you hid the kids, but the issue with this girl is she's going to ask you why you didn't see your kids in a year. And you try to say it's because child support was whack.
That's not what he was saying. He said he went to see the kids. She would tell him to come and see the kids. He would travel to Florida.
I hear Florida.
And when he got there, she would say, no, you can't see the kids. Mm-hmm. She would ghost on him. That's what he said.
Okay, so
he pays child support, which I agree is BS. If you can't see the kids, and it's her fault, the reason why you can't see the kids.
Maybe I missed that. He pays the child support.
He was just saying it's BS. And he does it because he doesn't want to go to jail.
Well, okay.
Now that's not fair. You're taking that man's money, but not letting that man see his kids. Yeah, that's not right.
I don't like that at all.
That's not cool at all. That is so not cool. But you know what? What would make him more attractive to me, that he's a fighter for his kids. Even if you see him. Now, so wouldn't that gives you a leg up? So why do you think that you would have to lie to this woman about kids? Kids, like she's gonna find out about your kids, and she's going anyway. So the relationship, you never.
Especially if she's like Jerry, because Jerry gonna find out.
I find out, honey.
So, I do. How do you think you're gonna build this relationship? You're lying. You're like, that's
from the jump.
crazy.
So what
That's
are we
no.
telling him to do?
Tell the truth, because them
The
kids is
truth,
going to be
yeah.
And
around,
lose you gonna lose
These
her.
is
and
kids.
that's
These is
okay.
kids the rest of your life. These is your
Right.
That's
blood.
okay.
So if he loses her because of kids, guess what? She doesn't want kids. She's not the one. Find someone that wants kids. People
Exactly.
stop getting to relationships and you don't include your children. Your children is an extension of you.
I'm
So
sure he
somebody need to
believes
deal
that,
with your
but if
kids.
if you've been trying there is not, I have a family member who has tried to see his kids, two different children. He wants to be in those children's lives, and both of the mothers of the children are not allowed for whatever reason. They're not allowing him to see the kids. He's like, look, it could be
I
supervised. I
I
don't care. I'll
understand
pay my
that.
child support. Just
Right.
let me see my kids.
I
Like
know. I know.
we can't dangle
Yeah.
kids. We have
Exactly.
to. So now that she's getting married, I'm not taking his side, because if he's totally wrong, I'll say he's wrong.
He's wrong. He should have
But
been a
now that
part
she's
in the.
getting married, she's like, well, I think the kids should see their dad. Did it
Yeah.
come from your new man, that your new man told you that?
It's the new man. The new man's like, we
It's
don't
a
keep these
D.
kids all the
That's
time. Can't
foul.
they, dad, have them on the weekend? Like, we got
We
you
ain't gonna
every
keep these
weekend with your
kids all the
kids.
time.
You know what
Like,
I
where they
mean?
daddy at?
Like, where's
Go
their
ahead and go to
father?
their dad's house.
Every
Oh
weekend with us.
God.
That's the
I'm
way it
trying to enjoy
changes.
my new wife. Keep them
Exactly.
kids off.
That's the way it
They're
changes.
probably
I'm
clicking
not
her head like,
faulting.
you know what, he's right. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah.
I'm not
And
faulting the
like,
guy for the
yeah.
relationship. I think it's not for the relationship, but for the child support. I think that's great. He's in a struggle. Keep going to court. Keep doing it. See your kids. Keep fighting no matter what, because your kids will always remember that you fought for them.
You got
But
to
when it
keep
comes
going.
to relationship, you don't want to look like you put that above your kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like you were looking for someone who like you, but not like this side of you that's the most important part of you.
Right.
So yeah, that part, nah, I'm not with that.
I
No,
don't
that's
blame him.
crazy.
I can't be. I mean, I understand. I think because I've seen my people that I'm related to, people that I love, go through that. And they played their part. But the kids shouldn't have to suffer. Now these kids are going to go through confusion, you know, where you haven't seen your kids in a year, you
Yeah,
haven't
but
talked to your kids in a year.
but
Do you
the
know the
letter
trauma
wasn't
that these
about
kids are
that.
gonna? No, it's not. But
The letter was
I'm
about him
explaining.
lying.
I'm explaining why I agree. Like, not
Mhm.
agree. Why I understand. And I just think that it's wrong that now, for him to have lied. No, I think, I mean, you just take the L. If she leaves you, then lesson learned. Now you know, next
If she
time
leaves you, she doesn't want
you meet somebody, to say, I got kids. I got
Mm.
kids. I got a crazy ass baby mom. This is the situation. Yo, if you want to leave, I understand, but this is my life right now. And
I
she
I
hear
mean,
you.
I've
she
dated
might
guys that
give
would
in
do
to you,
that.
like, you never know.
I dated guys, that have gone through the struggle trying to get their kids. I remember one guy actually asked me,
To
um,
watch your kids,
oh
to
no,
watch his
you
kids.
ain't gonna do that. All of the guys, their kids like really love me. And I understand why. But but one guy that I used to date years ago, when I didn't know as much, but I'm learning. He had like a baby's mama that sent the kid to live with him, and then was still taking child support out his check while the kid was living with him, so she had the child support.
That's a mess.
But no, this is the killer
That's a
one, which I'm
mess.
like, dude, you need to fight that. I'm all behind him and everything. He comes to me and he was like, let me holler at you, man. Let me holler. I'm like, yeah, what's going on? Right? I'm like, what? So he said, that he didn't get the check and he wanted to borrow some money from me.
Ooh,
I was like, nah, we ain't gonna do that. We ain't gonna start
that is
that.
what we're not going
We ain't gonna
to. I'm
start
not
that.
feeling that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He was running a little short. You want trying to
Yeah,
get baby new shoes.
problem. That's
Yeah, I was
not my
like,
problem.
nah, nah,
The
nah.
part when you ask me to buy stuff for your kids, that's where we have a problem. That I am not their
That's,
mother.
it
No,
should be your
no,
it
no,
should
no.
be your decision to want to do something. They shouldn't ask you.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. After he told me the whole
Ability.
story and stuff, I was like, you can't like talk to your sister, any of your family members.
Yeah.
We weren't that close. We weren't that close. So I was like, yeah, I understand your
Damn,
struggle. I get it.
that had to be embarrassing. I'm sure.
Yeah, well,
I'm
I
sure
found
They
that's
out.
have the
so embarrassing.
audacity. You men have. I'm not surprised. I don't put nothing past men. They have the audacity.
Yeah,
So
they
you
tried.
know
If
what
they
I
get
mean.
away with it, they'll keep trying. I mean,
They'll keep
it's
trying.
everything's worth a try. It's
Well,
like a failure if you don't try.
mm,
So yeah,
okay.
he tried that. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna write you a check. Don't cash that until February 29th, sucker. Like
And
that
it was
ain't
what,
happening.
December?
It was December, and it wasn't leap year. So I was like, no, better not cash that check. Yeah, like I mean, that happens.
She said it wasn't leap
Yeah, because we
year.
only get 28 days. I mean, like, cash that on the 29th. A couple thousand I'm about to give to you.
I
Yeah.
cannot.
I'm just
I
not with
can't.
that. But, guys will try. I mean, they will try to, anybody tries, anybody will try it to see. And if you have kids and you take care of your kids, that's a proud moment. You probably don't even want anyone to help you with them. You're like, I got this, especially, a man and he's taking care of his kids. You're
I mean, if
not.
you're dating, you want someone to embrace you and embrace your children.
Of absolutely,
Um, and
absolutely.
and also another goal is to find somebody who you feel is your equal, somebody that you're gonna impress the hell out of them.
Mm.
You're gonna do something that is just gonna win them over. Like this is your trophy. So I need to do whatever I can to make sure I get this trophy. And so
Right.
I'm a lie about my kids. Sir, you're disqualified from the contest.
Definitely disqualified. Yeah,
So
it's
No,
not like
because you
not
could
like
lie
you
about
lie about
that.
where.
You lie about anything else. That's how I see
Yeah,
it. You know,
you
so,
can even
something
damn.
lie
happened.
about where you live.
You lie about your name. You know, like
What if
that's
you
Yeah.
your.
has
I
that
had
ever
a guy lie
happened?
about it. That happened to me. Yes, it did. A guy told me his name was such and such. I found out his real name. I asked him. He got mad at me. And that's the thing. They get mad at you when you find out the truth. You know what I mean? I'm
Right.
like, yeah, that happened before. Lying about murderers, liars. But yeah, that happened.
The nickname
hmm
dudes.
And it wasn't even a
Yeah.
nickname, or like how some people go by like their middle name or something like that. That name had no relation to him at all. None.
No.
Mm-mm.
Oh boy.
See, that's scary. There's a lot. I
Thank
mean, there's
God.
there's
Well,
shows people go through being with somebody for years and still never know. And then they're like, what? Like I watched that little channel where these people, these murderers have raised perfectly wonderful families in the suburbs and they're killing everywhere else. So yeah,
I
I've
guess that
seen it.
means just you need to wrap it up so we can go to our next.
What you talk about? What you talk about, Key Brown?
We just finished watching the Oscars. You hear the orchestra. I was like, wrap it up, wrap
Wrap it up.
it up.
All right, we're
You
gonna wrap
you
this
heard that?
up.
That's phone going. You know I'm important.
She's
Every
booked and busy. All right, we're gonna get into girl talk. We're gonna switch gears for a minute, and I, I'm I was hoping to get an attorney on this week because we kind of need some real insight, some legal insight and some intelligence because we just spitting off the dome, and this is just our personal opinion. You will hear the disclaimer after the show. So we're going to talk about the recent events that's been going on in the Black community in the U.S. Very touchy subject, so keep it right here. It's the Hey Girl Hey podcast on Urban Media Today. All right, Hey Girl Hey podcast, Urban Media Today. Hey Girl Hey,
hey,
hey, hey.
oh,
All right, so we
hey,
laughed a little earlier, but for this particular conversation, it's not a laughing matter. Um, like I said before the break, I was hoping to get an attorney on. Shouts to Amber Owens, who was on the show before. She's an attorney, I believe a defense attorney, and she is traveling, so she was unable to make it to the show tonight. So we're gonna have to just talk about our feelings with this one if we can. So since our last episode, we took a week off. Since our last episode, there have been one, two, three, four, possibly five unarmed blacks who have been killed by the police. Anthony Alvarez in Chicago, I believe he was 13.
Mhm.
Andrew Brown in North Carolina. Micaiah Bryant, who is a 16-year-old teen in Ohio, and Dante Wright in Minnesota. This is the taser, I believe, the taser person. So, uh, you know, I, the
Yeah.
Micaiah Bryant story got me because, and I did a kind of like a interview with the CEO of Roots Way, Isis Chapman, here in Pittsburgh, and it's a counseling program that provides resources and counseling resources for young girls here in Pittsburgh. And um, we talked about de-escalation because if you see the video of Micaiah Bryant, it was an incident that occurred at her foster mom's house. There were some adults on site, and the women, excuse me, and the women got into a brawl, and Micaiah was seen on video with a knife, and she went to charge the an alleged assailant, someone that she was fighting, with the knife. When police arrived and saw this, shot her 4 times, and she was killed. Anthony Alvarez in Chicago, young teen. I think it was I don't know, it was early in the morning, like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Incident happened. Police called. There is a pursuit, and Anthony Alvarez comes from behind a barrier, a wall, or whatever, with his hands up. Police officer shoots. Now it's alleged that he had a gun and he threw the gun down. And so the police, in a split second, talked about that, responded to that incident. Andrew Brown, that incident where families fighting to see more than 20 seconds of the police
Yeah.
video, and a judge denied that, saying that only people that can see it are the family members. Um,
That's
this
weird.
it's said that this man has a record for fleeing. He had an arrest warrant on drug charges. Um, and he was fleeing the police, and they shot him, and now it's coming out that he was shot in the head, which means that they should have let him go because he was running off. Dante Wright, we talked about this, I believe we did. He was a gentleman that was pulled over because of uh, a freshener in his car or something like that.
Yeah.
He was pulled over, and it was a warrant for his arrest, but he wasn't aware of it. And the police officer thought she was taking out a taser and took out a gun and shot and killed him.
Mm-hmm.
So those are just some. I'm sure there are more.
Yeah.
I said all that to say, just in case someone didn't understand who we were talking about, I have so many mixed emotions with these stories. The Micaiah Bryant story got me because there were adults on the scene, and this altercation was going on. This young lady had a knife, and the adults did not stop it. There was no, were there any attempts to de-escalate the situation? Why is this young girl dead? There was a man who kicked a woman, it's seen on camera. So it was just, and I've witnessed situations like that that's happened before. I've witnessed it. I've seen stuff like that where it just gets out of hand and it's just an all-out brawl. I've seen it. And it's like, what could have happened? What could we have done to not have this happen, to prevent something fatal from happening?
That was excessive use of force, especially shooting her 4 times. Now I can understand. I know there's adults there and they're fighting, but if somebody's fighting with a weapon like a knife, I don't know what to do in that situation either. If somebody has
I mean, if
a
you were the
knife.
police or
No,
if you
if
were a
if I
bystander.
were a bystander, like how do you stop that? If they have a knife, I'm getting it back. Like
Mm-hmm.
how do we
Yeah.
stop you from doing what you're doing with the knife? So I get that. I can and you can't. That's a hard thing to
Mm-hmm.
restrain somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So when they showed the
Especially when they're
video,
mad.
yeah, when they showed the video
Knife and yeah, they could
and
charge at you,
where the
anything.
knife was going, it's like it was either. I'm not saying that he should have shot her like that, but maybe like not 4 times, but some kind of way, because she was going after the other person. Now there would have been somebody would have got stabbed.
Right.
Well, she was going to stab that other girl.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
But that's what I'm saying.
it was
What
violent. That was
happened?
a violent fight.
They were outside,
Yeah.
and the police showed up. They were outside. How long were they outside?
Right.
Mhm.
Like
So
something could have happened
nobody,
prior
something
to.
could have happened where I
Yeah.
have seen men take women and pick them up and carry them off and walk them down the street.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? But tell me this one, the whole Andrew Brown piece.
Yeah.
I was just like, and I'm
He's the
not
one that
saying
was
that
fleeing out of his
he
car,
was the
right?
one that was fleeing. He's known to flee the police. He had an arrest warrant on him. And I was listening to his son, and his son was just like, y'all didn't have to, it was murder. And I was just like,
Well,
I didn't understand. And I said, and he said, this has to stop. We have to stop murdering our. And immediately I said, there's a young boy that just got killed in Manchester here in Pittsburgh. Two teens that got killed, not by police, but by us. But we're not saying this needs to stop. That's where I went. I was
yeah.
pissed. I was pissed. I'm like, we
We've
on
been saying
TV.
it.
We got lawyers sitting next to us in their little shiny Steve Harvey suits, and they're sitting there and they're talking about we want to see the video and we want this and we want justice. And it's like, I need that same energy for this young mother who lost a son.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It
It's
just really pissed me off because I'm like, it's unfortunate that these young people are losing their lives from people who are supposed to protect and serve us.
Yeah. I
But
think
you
that's
have your
what triggers
neighbor
it
who you're told
more.
to
Yeah.
love. You
Yeah.
have a neighbor who you are told to love, kills you, and we don't say anything.
yeah. Well, I think the issue in that case, I mean, because we do have the same. I think in the community, our community, when it's black on black, I think we do have the same feelings, and it's pretty strong. People are against that as well. But for in that incident there, I think what they were trying to say is that there's videotapes of people of different color fleeing from the cops who never get shot in the head.
Mm-hmm.
That's the issue.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
issue. It's not the
Yeah.
fact that,
True.
there we just see them just like pull over and tell a cop, leave me alone and keep on going.
Or
So
run you
he
over with
gets
their
in the car,
truck.
he doesn't
Guns and
right.
everything.
He
Like
ain't
Right.
get
they
no
had.
gun.
Right.
He and if he's known as a fleer from the cops, then why would you shoot him in the head? Why are you doing that? So what was the reason? Just let him go. It's a small town. So you know who's doing what in the small towns. You know who's who. So that was probably his reputation to run from the cops. Let him go. But he was shot in the head. That has got to stop, because we see people of different color do whatever they want to the police, never get shot. So yes,
They
I'm with the family. That has got to stop. That has got to stop.
No, it all has, you're absolutely right. All of it has to stop. All of
Right?
it has to stop. It
Yes.
all of it does. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Jerry.
that was a good point, LaShawn. I was going to piggyback right off of what you said, and I lost my train. Oh yeah, well, back when you were saying how um the black on black crime and stuff like that, and that also has a stop as well. I think what the difference is with the police, they're so quick to kill us before anything, and just like you said with the guy fleeing or whatever, and with Deontay, I'm sorry, what's his name? Deontay or Deontay Wright, the
Deontay,
one with
right.
when Deontay Wright, pulling out the
He went to
tape, the
flee.
gun, with you know what I mean. So they're so quick to shoot and kill us, and that they're supposed to protect and serve us. So it triggers that. That's more of a trigger than anything. You know what I mean? But it's
The news of unarmed black men and women dying at the hands of police is not new. This has been going on for the longest time, longer than we've been alive, right? But recently it's been caught on video. So we are familiar. The people who just passed have used the hashtag Breonna Taylor, Mike Brown, You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
they George Floyd, they've used those hashtags. So when the situation like that happens, are they're not here to respond to that. But are we not thinking, oh crap, I'm not trying to be a hashtag. I'm about to be a hashtag.
Yeah, you got to think like that. I
Let
mean,
me just
that's
chill
the
out.
fear.
I'm not trying to
That's
be a
the fear.
hashtag. Let me just, you know.
That's the fear.
You
It's
So
chill. You still, you know what I mean? Like it's like a lose-lose situation, like it like what we talked about before. When it comes to the police and you're complying and you're following directions and orders and you still get killed. So like
right.
you're a hashtag either way. That's how I see it. And yeah, you don't want to be a hashtag, but sometimes you think you can't help but think that way.
Right.
It's
I think the thing when it comes to police and black on black crime, we in our neighborhoods, if it's primarily us, we know who our enemy is. We know who we have a beef with. When it comes to police, we call them. You don't call anyone that you think is going to come in and shoot you. We call them in to de-escalate the situation. So nobody gets on the phone and say, "Hey, police, I want you to come over here because my cousin's doing something." And by the way, shoot them. We're not doing that. We already know. So we have an issue when it's in our community, but we know our enemy in our community. Because he looks just like us, and we've been in the same community beefing with him for years, him or her for years. So we know that part. But when you call somebody in from the outside just to help you get a little calm, and then they become the one that kills you, yeah,
now,
that's
I'm not saying that you are. I'm not saying that you are, but it sounds as though what happens in our own communities with the black on black crime is justified.
I
That's what it
agree.
sounds like. I'm not saying that you are justifying
Yeah,
it, but it
yeah,
just sounds like it's justified. Like the responses that I get from people who are in our community when this subject comes up, it's well, that's the code. That's how. And it's like, that's bullshit. Like, it
yeah.
should
It is.
not be. No, like, it should. I have young nephews and young
Yeah,
nieces that
yeah,
walk home from school.
right,
They don't deserve to be gunned down because you can't settle an issue. You can't
right.
settle a problem. Are you jealous of somebody, or they took your block, or they took
Hmm.
your girl, or they stepped on your shoes, or like, why she gotta lose? Why they got to lose their life? And then why does their life, God forbid, it be taken by some dumb stuff that you guys couldn't figure out on your own? So you took it to the streets. Now,
Hmm.
this young lady's life, her death is going to go unsolved because we sticking to the code. So now a mother has to bury her child if she has the funds to do
Right.
it, and not have to ask people to give her money to bury her kids.
Yeah.
So now she has to bury her kids, and now she has to live with the thought that people saw who killed her child and
Yeah.
won't say anything. And they said she come out to empty her garbage, heart is heavy, and she's outside, and they say, "Hey girl, how you doing?" And she's like, "Hey, damn, I know who killed her kid."
Hmm.
That's
Yeah.
bull.
It
But we
is.
will give the IP address, we'll give his MySpace account, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, all the handles to the police officer. This is her job. This is where she go to church. These are her kids. Are we giving out social security numbers, feet size, all of that when it comes to a police officer killing a black person? But we don't got nothing. We just and when you explain it, it's like, well, it is what it is. That's bull.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is. Well, it's terrible.
That's
My well is
terrible.
so nonchalant because it's terrible. We've been fighting this battle for a long time. Um, and if one get killed or two, it's terrible. One is too many. But these are things that happen, and it happens in our community. Not all the time, not every day, but too much. Too much.
It's way too much.
It's just way too
Way
much.
too much.
And so I don't know what the remedy would be for that. I don't know how to, like, what we would do. I mean, we've done the marches and we've taught the kids, but a way of, some people just don't settle beefs well at all. Grown adults don't, um when
Miss,
you sitting on
unfortunately,
the
her
news,
whatever,
like,
a pretty son, a grown
yeah,
man, arguing
yeah,
with a young teen, mad because he got
right,
kicked out of a bar,
yeah,
and he can't
they're
take it.
threatened by young guys because they don't know. They think young guys got the guns, and so they're you know
I got
getting
something
up
to
on them
prove.
quicker. Yeah, so
Has
I
something
don't
happen around
know.
me? I'm telling.
Yeah.
I'm snitching. I'm
Hmm.
sorry. I mean, I may be in hiding. I'm a call. I'm gonna be
You
like,
make
look, Tyrone. He go to CCAC
Hmm.
on Saturdays. He pick up culinary arts.
Maybe on the
he catch
71C
this
He be
bus,
ambulance.
on the
right?
set. He catch this bus at this time. He
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
always wear the same Dickies.
Sure
So
do.
you might catch him around 7:45 in the morning. And then when he get off work around 3:30. So yeah, yeah.
That's him.
Sometimes he
That's
go over
Tyrone.
Charmaine. Sometimes he goes Charmaine's house. Charmaine is his second baby mom,
Girlfriend.
not his first baby
Mm-hmm.
mom. I'm giving
She
all
live
the
right on the
deets.
west side. She live and she got a couple kids. She work at
But
Walmart.
only
And
one
we
of them is his. Only one of them. So she got 5 kids, but only one of them is his, and that's
Shut up.
Delonte. And
Shut up.
Delonte, he about 5. I think he got autism. But anyway, so he might go over her house.
Should I
I'm
give the
you
whole
giving.
story? You
go
be
to
like,
hell.
did I
He said,
ask for all that? Like, what happened
I'm
that I got all
telling
that information?
everything. Don't you better
Yeah.
not had nothing happen around me, because I'm
Yeah.
telling on
You gonna tell.
everybody. I'm gonna say
Yeah.
LaShawn was there. Here go her phone number. She
I
was
be like,
there.
no, I wasn't. I
Mm,
wasn't there.
mm, okay.
Yeah. I mean, we don't want to become a hashtag, and we
right.
don't we don't want to
They
die.
gonna call me
So no
hashtag
one's
snitch.
snitching.
Yep.
Yeah. Nobody's
Snitch.
snitching. Nobody wants to be that. You know.
I'm snitching.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Because I
there's
want
a,
somebody, if something happened to me or something happened to any member of my family, don't hold it in. Tell.
what'd you say? Tell.
Tell it
And that's
all.
the goal. That's the goal.
So, all
I don't
right.
know.
Well, that wasn't too
That
bad.
whole intimidation thing, that witness intimidation. When the cops, the ones you call in, they're supposed to help you, and then they're talking about, well, give us the evidence and we'll make sure nobody
Just give me
gets
a
you.
passport. I'm
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody going to Tuscany.
I am.
You ain't even
I'll be there.
know
Y'all
where
ain't
we
going to
at.
I want
Tuscany.
the
Y'all ain't going to
food.
Tuscany.
I'm
I'm
going
just
to
saying, you ain't going to come
Tuscany.
looking for me.
No.
I'm a snitch and send me
After
to.
that long flight, you think I'm coming over to get you? Ain't nobody the
Right. That's why I'm
equalizer.
going to. That's why I'm going to
That ain't
Tuscany.
happening.
That's why I'm going to Tuscany,
No.
because y'all ain't gonna
Mm-mm.
come and get. That's too long of a flight,
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
and y'all ain't trying to pay them extra baggage
No.
fees. So
I'm going to Africa, man.
Hey, I'm going to on a continent.
I'm
Yeah.
not. I'm not gonna tell y'all where I'm
No.
going, because you see, y'all will snitch on me. Y'all will tell on me. Y'all be like,
Yeah.
she went to Tuscany.
No, she did.
She's
She
out of
up there
here.
drinking some wine and stomping on some grapes. We saw her on her Instagram page. Kiki be on Instagram.
Nope. Nope. All right, that's the
Well,
Hey Girl Hey
I feel it.
podcast. This was
I
fun.
understand.
This was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
I'm tired
hey
today.
Jer, your
Yeah.
part. Your part. It's your
No,
time.
please.
No.
So, if you want to catch up on past episodes of the Hey Girl Hey podcast, we are on so many platforms such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, Anchor FM, Podbean, Live 365, Tune in, Google Play, YouTube, and urbanmediatoday.com.
And what you got showing?
Um, so if you want if you want to reach us via email, you can reach us at the Hey Girl Hey Podcast at gmail.com, or on Twitter at Girl Hey 2018, or on the Facebook at the Hey Girl Hey Podcast, or on the IG at Hey Girl Hey Podcast 2018. Or you can give us a call at 412-709-6130.
If the line is busy, just keep calling, because we
Yeah,
only have a
because
one way.
we didn't get the cricket turned on.
Yeah, we ain't get the
If it's
cricket
a
turned on.
doo 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 doo, hold off. I'm getting the
We
credit
ain't
card
pay the
together to pay
bill.
the
We ain't
bill.
we ain't
That
pay the
part, yeah.
bill.
We're like, caller is not accepting calls right now.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah,
Okay.
not right now. Give
All
me like
right,
10 minutes. I'm coming back.
We appreciate you listening. It's time for Urban Media Today Talk Sports. I'm your radio chick, Kiki Brown.
And I'm the chatter chick, LaShawn.
I'm your millennial chick, Jerry 16.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching.